Hi, I'm Helen from Heritage Garden Seeds, and today we're going to do the sow along for our wild garlic seeds. So you can sow your wild garlic at any time of year, but autumn is ideal because they do need a period of cold weather to stratify. So by sowing in the autumn, they can naturally stratify over the winter months. But it's better to direct sow your wild garlic seeds exactly where you want it to grow. For the purposes of this video, and because I've got so much work planned on my allotment over the winter, I'm going to sow mine into these large gravel trays. They do have holes underneath to allow for drainage, and then I can just keep this tray somewhere in the garden in the shade where I can keep an eye on them and they're not going to be at risk on the allotment. So you want to sow your wild garlic seeds about 1 to 2 centimeters deep. So I'm just going to make a little drill in my soil here so you can replicate this if you are direct sowing. So, and then I'm going to scatter my seeds into that drill. And then just backfill with the soil. And then water well. So like I say, these are going to cold stratify over the winter, and then they will naturally germinate in the spring when the temperatures start to heat up. So don't worry if you don't see any signs of growth over the winter months. We just want to make sure that the area is kept moist and weeded over those colder months while we are waiting. So when harvesting your wild garlic, you want to harvest those young leaves in the spring before the flowers appear. Ideally, you want to leave them alone if you can in the first year, just to let them establish. And then once they've established, they will naturalize and return year after year. And the leaves, stems, and flowers are all edible. So it's really, really easy to grow your wild garlic. And by growing your own in your kitchen garden or allotment, it just means you're always going to have your own little supply. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. The best place is always on Instagram. The handle is @heritagegardenseeds, or feel free to email me. The email address is hello@heritagegardenseeds.com.